Hello my friends, I'm thon and welcome to this story. Today I am bringing you my Fantasty Adventureathon TBR. It is happening today, March 25th through March 31st. It is hosted and created by Novel Thoughts, and she is going to be captaining Team Fairy, and it is also co-hosted by the Tiny Book Dragon. She's Team Dragon, obviously. As read by Francine, is going to be captaining Fantasy Unicorn, and she's the bookie, will be captaining Fantasy Team Mermaid. Now, what's really unique and cool about this readathon is that there is an actual map where you choose your own adventure, and there's different paths that you can take, and along each path there are different prompts. And depending upon what prompts you choose will lead you to a different team. Now some people have chosen teams and some people have just chosen a path. I kind of went with the path because it was getting really hard to try to figure out what team. So now I'm going to take you on my path that I've chosen. The very first prompt, which everybody has because we all start at the same place, is Fellowship, as in Fellowship of the Rings. And that is to read the group book. Now they chose the group book to be A Darker Shade of Magic. However, I have already read that book, and thankfully, if we've read the book or we can't get a hold of it, they're allowing us to substitute a book. And since I've already read it, nor can I get a hold of it because I do not own it and my library has it, or they should have it, but they don't. Anyway, the point is, I'm going to be reading a different book, and for Fellowship, I will be reading A Flame in the Mist by Renee Audier. Now, I chose this book because A, it's a fantasy. B, I've been wanting to read it. C, it's on my physical TBR as well as my Goodreads TBR. And D, it is within 8 pages of the same count of being A Darker Shade of Magic. So I was trying to make it fair. So I'm going to be reading A Flame in the Mist for the first prompt. The second prompt that I'm going to be taking on my journey is Castle, and that is to read a book with royalty in the title. Now, I have chosen a book which is not technically in the main title, but it is part of the tagline of the title. So I'm going to be reading Now I Rise, which is the second book in the And I Darken series, or the Conqueror series. Yeah, the Conqueror series. And on this, it says, demand the crown. Crown is very much a royalty word. So I'll be reading this for Castle. The fourth stop on my journey is Owl, and Owl is to read a book with black on the cover. As we've already established, the first 2 books definitely have black on the cover. They're mainly black. So I'm good there. Number 4. I could take one of 2 paths here, and it was really hard for me to decide which way to go, because I could take Fable, a book which features fabulism, which is basically magical realism, or I could choose Fairy, which is read a fairy tale or fairy tale retelling. Oh, so many books. But I chose fabulism. And now I did get on Goodreads to double check to make sure that a book was considered fabulism or magical realism. And lucky me, there was a book on my physical TBR that features fabulism, according to the list, and that is Gloria O'Brien's History of the Future. So I will be reading this for prompt number 4. The 5th stop on our adventure is going to be Bewitch. Bewitch wants us to read a book with romance. Now, this was pretty easy for me because it's been on my TBR for a little while. I recently got it in the last 4 or 6 months, and I know that it has to have romance in this book because of the author, and that is Lullaby by Amanda Hawking. I have read 7 books by her, and they have all featured romance. So this is the second book in this series, and the first book had some romance, so I know that this one will too. The 6th stop on our journey is Quest, and that is to read a short story. Now, I have been saving this one for a readathon that had this kind of a prompt, and I feel like this book was made for this prompt almost, and that is The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. And this book is a graphic novel, and it is one of the shortest books on my shelf. So I'm excited about this one. Also, I'll be reading this for the 7th and final stop on our journey, Pixies, is to read a book outside. And so this, I feel confident that I will be able to read the book in its entirety outside, no matter the weather or time of day, whether it's day or night. Because if I'm being honest, reading outside is not something I'm able to do anymore because it's either too hot, too cold, and if it's not either of those things, then I am playing with my kids. My kids are wanting me to be present with them when we are outdoors. And so reading outside just doesn't happen for me anymore. So I can do this even if it's really late at night and the bugs are biting. So this is what I will be reading for the Fantasy Adventureathon this week. I'm super excited about my selection. I'm super excited about this readathon. There will be Twitter sprints. There are a few Instagram challenges. And of course, there's point system because we gotta win points for our teams. And I didn't even tell you what team I was actually on. I'm Team Fairy. I invented my makeup so that I could really, kind of support my team in a aesthetic way. At least that was what I was aiming for. I hope I achieved it. So go Team Fairy! Yay! If you're doing this readathon, please let me know because I want to be able to cheer you on whether you're on my team or not. And if you want to do this readathon, I'm sure you can join in. I don't know that you can do it for points at this or not, but if you're wanting to do it and it's the 25th check, you might still be able to join and still earn points. Otherwise, you can just join us for the fun of it. And that's what most people are doing this readathon for anyway, so it's no big loss. This was fun. I am excited. If you're not participating in the readathon this week, tell me what you're currently reading because I would like to know, just to know what you're up to. If you're not reading something, what are you watching? What are you doing? I know we don't always have a chance to read all the time, but I do want to talk to you in the comments. So say something, send me an emoji, tell me what you're reading, what you're doing. I don't know. You decide. I hope that you're having a wonderful and blessed week, my friends. I hope to see you soon, and don't forget to enjoy your story. Thanks for watching, friends. Bye.